All right, hello there, and welcome to my review of Rurouni Kenshin, the final. I gotta say, I've been waiting for this film for a very long time. I've been a Kenshin fan since 2001. Sorry, actually 2002. And when I found out that the third season of the anime did not adapt what was known as the Vengeance arc in the manga, I was very depressed. I was happy when the manga finally got translated, I think around 2007, 2008. There was an OVA that did a very loose adaptation. It was known as Saisohen in Japan, Reflection, when ADV adapted it. Unfortunately, again, it was very loose and it took up maybe 5 minutes of the entire OVA. So we never got an official adaptation of the Jinshu arc. And now we finally have it. Rurouni Kenshin the final. Does it stack up? Well, let's get into that. So I'm going to answer that right away and tell you, yes, this film absolutely stacks up. Thank you. Thank you, Watsuki. Thank you, Takeru. Thank you, all the filmmakers. This film stacks up. Now, I don't even need to tell you, but if you have seen the first three films, top-rate action scenes. Absolutely does an amazing job recreating fight scenes from the manga, and absolutely gorgeous stunt work, wire work, very little to no CGI, and that is what I like in a good action scene. And again, it takes the fight scenes from the manga and recreates them perfectly. It is beautiful seeing a live action Gatatsu or Amakakuryu. Sorry about the mispronunciation there, but you get the point. It is amazing seeing that done perfectly in live action, and these films do it, and this last one is no exception to that. Now, I'm going to get away from the action scenes because I can only go on and say and repeat myself and say they're amazing so many times. I'm going to get into what matters most, the story, the adaptation. So, back when this arc was written in the manga, Watsuki, the writer, expressed concerns that he felt it may be getting too dark, but wanted to assure his readers the manga would have a happy ending. That really tells you how dark the Jinshu arc got. And the movie, without giving away too many spoilers, the movie absolutely nails those emotional beats. It absolutely goes to those dark places. It absolutely shows you how tortured Kenshin's past is and how much regret he carries with him about the pain that he caused in his Hitokiri days. The film nails those moments. It nails the emotional journey for Kenshin and Kaoru, as well as Anishi, the film's main villain, in case you didn't know. And it just does exactly what it needed to do with the story. Adapt it properly. Of course, stuff gets cut. It's a 2-hour film adapting a 10-volume manga. Of course, stuff is going to get cut, but it still adapts what was important, what was vital. And I would put this adaptation far and beyond anything the Snyderverse did, the DCEU has ever done, anything the MCU has ever done. This is the gold star standard for what a movie needs to do when adapting a comic. Adapt the story and action scenes faithfully with respect while doing a bit of your own thing, but still with respect. And it's a urban rumor that Watsuki was always on set giving feedback and advice, and it shows. This movie stays very faithful to the spirit of the manga, and it is absolutely amazing for Kenshin fans. So the negatives are very few. As I already mentioned, they can't cram in everything. Some of your favorite scenes are going to be lost in adaptation. Some of the fight scenes are going to be a little short for you, especially if you're looking forward to your favorite scene from the manga. That's to be expected, but at least it's adapted with love and with respect. Now, one complaint I do have is that, okay, if you remember the very first film, the very first live-action film, 2 members of the 6 comrades, which is what Anishi names his group, show up as a member of Kamiya Konru's band. They give him the Gatling gun, and they're there to keep an eye on him. One of those members shows up in the final, played by a totally different actor, and it's never addressed that he's returning. Meanwhile, the other member that showed up in the first film is nowhere to be seen, and again, never addressed. It's like a major pink elephant during the entire film. It's never called out, never mentioned, never a line of dialogue that addresses it, and it bothered me all the way throughout. But that is a very, very minor nitpick. Basically, this film gets a 9.5 out of 10. I'm going to get into the spoilers in a moment. Again, you can nitpick all you want about how stuff had to get cut. And yeah, there's a few flaws here and there, a few things they could have done better, but it's still the gold star standard for adapting a comic book. And it is amazing. The film series has been amazing. I have major expectations for the beginning, the fifth and final film in the series, which goes back to Kenshin's past, his days as a Hitokiri, when that film finally gets hopefully released on Netflix. If not, I'll import it, because I absolutely love this film series. Again, been a Kenshin fan for almost 20 years, and it is so great to see these live-action films get so much respect in the making. It's obvious these people are fans, and they're making it for the fans, and that's the best thing you can hope for. So I am going to go into some spoilers now. This is just going to be me ranting about some of my favorite parts and spoiling the crap out of some most awesome parts of this film. So you already have my review. This is just me raving. And oh my God, Sojiro shows up. Sojiro shows up. Him and Kenshin fight back to back against an army of goons. It is beautiful. Basically, Indishi's mafia group tries to hire him to take out Kenshin, and of course he stabs him in the back. And him and Kenshin go back to back against the group, and it is amazing. It is just such an amazingly and beautiful scene. It's something you wish would have happened in the anime and manga, and it's done so beautifully. Loved it. Loved it. I was fist pumping and whooping like a total fanboy. And another thing I didn't see coming, now of course if you've read the manga, you know Aoshi and Misao show up. But one deviance from here, a major deviance, is Aoshi gets taken out by the burrowing villain of Inishi's 6 comrades by an explosion which he takes the brunt of to protect some townsfolk. And then Misao steps up and takes this guy down in the final fight sequence and is a total badass. Like, she just goes to town on him. It was beautiful, and it rectifies one of the biggest nitpicks I had with the manga, and that Misao was badly sidelined. And I'm glad to see this film rectify that. We had a lot of Aoshi in the second and third films. He's gotten his arc. It's great to see Misao step up and be awesome, and she got a chance to do that. I really appreciate that. And Saito gets about as much to do in this film as he did in all 3 films put together prior. Basically, this film gives him one of the biggest complaints I've had people say is that Saito didn't have enough to do in the past few films. This film rectifies that too. He is in so much of this, and he is a total badass, chain smoking, doing gatatsu left and right. He is awesome. He just gets to be the Saito you remember from the manga, and I'm glad to see this film gave him a lot more screen time. But sadly, we never see Tokino, his wife from the manga, and man, I wish we could have seen that. That would have been awesome, because yes, we really do need to know what kind of woman would marry this guy. So yeah, that is really all I have to say about Rurouni Kenshin, the final. I loved it. I'm in fanboy heaven. This is everything a comic book film should be. If you love Rurouni Kenshin, you gotta see this film. And if you just want a good samurai film, yeah, you should see it, but you should also watch the first 3 films too, because they're all spectacular. So that's my review. If you like it, well, you know what to do. The like button is there. The comments, if you didn't like it, the comment section are there to tell me why. Thank you so much.